Welcome back to Clue Me In, where we dive into the world's most baffling disappearances, chilling cold cases, and strange events that still leave us searching for answers. I'm Liv.
I'm Kay.
And I'm Grace, your go-to expert for bold theories, questionable logic, and airtight conclusions.
Every episode, Liv and I will break down a mystery, while Grace reacts, theorizes, and ultimately delivers her definitive answer.
Today, we're headed to Scotland, to a place known as the Overtoun Bridge, which has earned a bizarre reputation, one that's both tragic and unsettling.
If this mystery makes me never want to go to Scotland, I'm suing for emotional damages.
Well, I can't promise you that. Nevertheless, let's get into it. All right, Grace, I want you to get ready because this is going to make your brain work.
Okay, I'm ready.
I love this topic so much. All right, so Overtoun Bridge, located in the small town of Milton, Scotland, was built in the 19th century, and it leads to a mansion called Overtoun House. The bridge sits above a beautiful gorge, but beneath the bridge's charming appearances lies something far darker, a pattern of unexplained deaths.
Ooh, not creepy at all.
So, since the 1950s, reports have surfaced about dogs, yes, dogs, just suddenly and inexplicably leaping to their deaths on this bridge. Like, we're not talking just one or two tragic incidents. We are talking hundreds of dogs.
Hundreds, like about 300 dogs.
That
to be
is
exact.
really sad. Like, why are they just eating themselves off this bridge?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
I need to hear more.
Well, the reports were eerily consistent. The dogs, seemingly happy and normal moments before, suddenly sprint over to the same spot on the bridge, leap over the edge, and fall into the rocky gorge below. Even sometimes the ones that survived would go up and then do it again.
Okay, so, like, I'm feeling like they're, like, possessed or something.
Right. It is.
Or
Yeah, to go
seeing,
back
like,
up
a
and do
ghost
it
or
again.
something. Yeah, that's
Right.
that's so sad.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, obviously, like, people have been looking into this for years. So, like, experts, scientists, even paranormal investigators have all tried to explain it. So, like, a lot of the locals, like, obviously, if you're a local and all the lore and stuff,
Yeah.
like, you're gonna believe, like, oh, is this bridge haunted? Or, like, other people think it's just something with the location itself. Like, maybe there's a frequency that affects the dog's, like, perception.
I feel like it's not very common, though, for dogs to, like, leap to their death.
No.
Like, I don't feel like that's, like, a common...
Oh, no. I mean,
like,
I've never
occurrence.
heard of that before. Like,
Yeah.
Animals don't commit suicide. Like, that's been proven. Like,
And doing it again if it didn't work the first time.
Right.
That's so bizarre.
It's very weird. And the other weird thing is that, like, a lot of owners report that their dogs are just, like, perfectly happy one moment, like, completely normal, only to just act completely out of character, like, right before they jump. It's like as if they suddenly just, like, snapped.
And I wonder, like, if they're with their owners when they do it, or are they, like, running away or, like, disappearing and then jumping.
It sounds like it's literally people walking their dogs.
Over this bridge.
Yes, walking their dogs over this bridge. They're acting completely normal, and then they start acting weird and jump off the bridge.
Like, they even said that, like, their walk over almost, like, hypnotized, and then they'll jump.
Mm-hmm.
So do the locals just, like, not take their dogs on this bridge?
It's really funny because...
Sounds like they shouldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, I've definitely, like, as I was looking into it, seeing that, like, locals don't, but there are
Right.
people who are just like, whatever, like, this isn't a big deal.
And if it's, like, a
but-
destination, like, small town.
Right. Yeah.
That's crazy. 300?
Yeah, I would not be taking my dog there. So.
I know.
That
That's
would be
wild.
Yeah. Okay, so, but here is where things get a little bit more stranger. In 1994, a man named Kevin Moy threw his infant son from the bridge, claiming that his child was the Antichrist. He then attempted to leap off himself before someone stopped him.
What?
So it went from dogs to now.
So dogs first and then a son, or the son first and then dogs?
It was dogs first and then came the son.
Yeah.
And then
man
dogs
who-
continued? Like, till
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
Yes.
This was just, like, in
What?
the midst of it. Yeah. Which, I mean, is really crazy and sad. I mean, what the heck?
Also, like, was it planned, premeditated, or was he on the bridge and just suddenly? I mean, obviously, there's no way to know, but
Yeah.
that's wild.
And then the other weird thing is that he, like, threw the baby from the same spot that the dogs jump from. Like, there is a spot on the bridge that they jump from, and it was from that same spot, which...
Is that where he leaped from, too?
That's where he tried
the same
to leap
spot.
from. Mm-hmm. And then, obviously,
attempted to. I just got that.
He did, but he did throw his baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he, like, live after, or...
No.
Oh.
Yeah, it's devastating.
Yeah.
Like, it's awful. But then obviously this is leading people to wonder, like, if there's an even deeper darkness surrounding the bridge. Like, some people even believe that it's what's called, like, the thin place. So that's, like, in Celtic mythology where, like, the veil between our world and the next is weaker. I don't believe in that stuff, but that's, like, a theory that goes around a lot.
There's, like, clearly something.
I mean, clearly it's something.
I feel like it's not a coincidence that maybe if it was like one or two dogs or whatever, but
something
like
is
dogs
going
don't
on.
know this is a pattern,
right?
Like obviously maybe the person could have like mimicked that if they knew that this was something that was happening, but dogs don't know that.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm. Well, the local pet owners do warn people when, like, they go not to take their dogs to the bridge, but people apparently
do it anyway.
Still do it, yeah.
Do they want to, like, test it out, see if it's real?
Right.
Let me see. My dog will break the norm.
Yeah.
All right, so let's break down the investigation. We've got a bridge, 100 of dogs jumping off of it, all seemingly for no reason. But what exactly is happening here? Why are these dogs making this bizarre decision?
So here's a couple theories. One of them is that they're simply acting on a strong scent or a distraction. So, like, some have been speculating that the dogs are drawn to the smell of mink because mink live under the bridge. And so they're like, oh, they're smelling this rodent? Is a mink a rodent? I don't know.
Yeah.
What is a mink?
Yeah.
But then to go back and do it again if they didn't die.
Right.
Like, it's not like they're jumping off the bridge to then go hunting.
Right.
For a mink.
Exactly. Well, and that also doesn't make sense because some of these jumps have happened in clear weather where there's no scent in the air at all. And it's also like there's been no evidence that mink is even around these incidents when they happen.
Yeah. Are mink native to Scotland?
I have no idea. Yeah. I wish I knew more of what was native to Scotland. I just know sheep.
I also feel like I don't really know much about mink either, but...
Yeah, I don't either. I didn't even know if it was a rodent, but...
Well, that's definitely a theory.
But, okay, so then, there's also all these reports from locals that, like, there's several accounts of people who have actually felt, like, a strange, eerie force when they're near the bridge. Like, people say this, especially locals, like... And they have even said things like that it almost feels like there's something, like, pulling them towards the edge.
Ooh. Which is just, like, terrifying.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that, like, you can definitely sense, like, if, like, it gets colder in an area or, like, if there's just a change in environment. So I feel like that one's more plausible than the mink, but who knows?
Yeah. I mean, some people, and it's so hard because you never know if people are, like... just, like, leaning into this and, like, wanting... But there have also been people who have described a sensation of actually being compelled to jump.
Like a ghost pulling them to the surface.
I don't know. That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
But I feel like it's not just a bunch of people corroborating the story. There's dogs.
No, these really are proven, like...
Yeah.
Things that have happened. Like, the only things we can be unsure about are, like, unless we go there, the only things we can be unsure about are the, like, feelings that people have felt. But everything else, like, it happened. Like, this is happening and still is.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah. But so there's also a theory that's tied to the bridge's history. So in the 1950s, there were reports of, like, a bunch of suicides, like, in the 50s at the Overtoun Bridge. So some people believe that the ghosts of the lost souls might linger and, like, causing an eerie pull towards the edge. And, I mean, like I said, like, I don't believe in ghosts, like, afterlife ghosts, but as I'm thinking, I'm like, I'm not going to put it past, like, some, like, dark something going
Yeah, it definitely
on.
sounds like supernatural.
It sounds supernatural.
Especially if people are feeling their bodies compelled
right.
to jump off the bridge.
Yeah, and especially with, like, the dogs being, like, hypnotized. That's what's getting me.
Yeah.
It's like, why would they peer down there for so long before doing it?
Right. Well, and that's where, like, with the man and his baby, right? Like, he might have planned to go there. Who knows?
Yeah.
But dogs getting hypnotized just randomly being on this bridge.
Right.
Like, that's bizarre.
Yes, it is bizarre. It is bizarre.
Well, regardless of whether it's, like, supernatural or something different, the investigation's still going on. Nobody knows why this is happening. No one has a definitive answer, and the strange behavior is continuing to baffle people in Scotland. We may never know what's behind the dog's jumps, but it's clear that this bridge is a place that holds something very strange, and I personally never want to visit.
Yeah, and, like,
I kind of do.
I'm serious. For, like, almost 100 years.
That might be a solo trip there.
Yeah.
Did you say you want to go? Oh. I'll go to Scotland with you, but I will stay far away from the bridge, probably.
I mean, everyone who has jumped, it has been, like, clear suicides. Other people just say they get the sensation. I want to know if this sensation is real.
That is true. Why
I'm
don't
all
you
about
go
going.
experiment it for us?
I'm not taking Georgia, my dog.
Yeah, don't take Georgia.
But I'm going.
So the people going and that are jumping to commit suicide, are they going to the bridge to commit suicide? Or are they, like, premeditated? Or are they walking on the bridge?
Or do they have these thoughts already, and while they're walking by the bridge, like, something's
the
pulling
spirits
them in?
talk to them?
Right, yeah. This is all speculation.
Right.
But that would be interesting.
I also feel like there's no way to really know because
So many
there's no way to
people.
know people's intentions.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But
For sure.
that is wild.
Yeah, it's a weird one. All right, Grace, you've heard the story, every eerie detail, every baffling clue. So tell us, what's your theory?
What really went down on this bridge?
All right. I'm going to have to say conclusively that there is a spirit or a demon or a ghost or however something supernatural in this area, because I feel like none of the other theories really make sense, especially the mink one. I think that was like the weakest theory. But
Yeah, that's like people trying to come up with
a reason. I just feel like this one is truly unexplainable. And if it was just people going there to commit suicide, that'd be different.
Right.
But I think the fact that there's 300 dogs that are also just being hypnotized. And dogs, I truly believe, like, I've seen The Conjuring. Dogs can sense stuff.
You're totally right.
100%.
And so I feel like there's clearly something, and now we can always debate what that would be, but I feel like there's just some spirit, supernatural, ghosty ghost, if we will.
Ghosty ghost.
Say something. Something's compelling these people and animals. And I feel like there's no coincidence that all of these things are happening.
Yeah. No, I agree. And you're so right that dogs can sense. Like,
Yeah.
Other.
Yeah.
Like, just, yeah.
And maybe not every person. Like, obviously, if they feel the sensation, that's different. And, like, they might be still actively choosing to jump. But the dogs, that's what's making me feel like this is not just, like, a conscious choice. Like,
Right.
there is something eerie going on. Because, again, like, I don't just hear of dogs leaping to their death.
No.
So you're definitely leaning on more of the side of the supernatural.
Yes, 100%.
So do you think it's like ghosts of all the old dogs who had jumped and died, luring the rest of the dogs?
Sure, we'll go with that. And if the force just keeps getting stronger with all of the dogs. Yeah.
Doggy afterlife cult.
Okay, well, with that last theory theory of a doggy afterlife cult. The mystery still remains, okay? Because I don't know if I believe that one.
Yeah, I think we'll agree with ghosts. I don't know if I agree with the dog.
Like ghostly paws.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thanks for listening to another episode of Clue Me In. If you want to dive deeper into the mystery of the Overtoun Bridge, don't forget to subscribe, follow us on Instagram, and leave us a review.
And if you ever cross the bridge yourself, let us know. Did your dog behave weirdly?
And if you ever go to Scotland, maybe just leave your dog at home.
See you next time on Clue Me In.